Scholars,
Morning,
good
ma'am.
morning, ma'am. We have seen about the hierarchy of classification, fine, in which there are the organisms. They are divided into different kingdoms, and then there are subgroups under it. Fine. It starts with the kingdom, and then species is the basic level or the basic unit of this classification. Fine. So species, genus, family, order, class, phylum and kingdom. This is the hierarchy of classification. Now we do classification so that we can study them in detail or properly. Now for that various criteria has been used, fine, to place, because there are some similarities, dissimilarities, and depending on that these organisms they are placed in particular group. Fine. So the scientist Whitaker, he has divided the organisms into 5 kingdoms. Today we will see those 5 kingdoms in which the Whitaker has divided all the organisms. Now for this division he had used the 3 criteria. The first one is the cellular structure, whether that organism is prokaryotic or eukaryotic. Second one is the mode of nutrition, whether it is autotrophic or heterotrophic. And third one is the body organization, whether it is unicellular or multicellular. So depending on these 3 criteria, Whitaker has given the 5 kingdoms for the classification. And the names are Kingdom Monera, Kingdom Protista, Kingdom Fungi, Kingdom Plantae, and 5th one is the Animalia. Now let's see their characteristics one by one. Now let's start with the first kingdom, Monera. Fine. We know that first unicellular and then it is a multicellular. Fine. First it is the prokaryotes and then it is the eukaryotes. So as this is the basic kingdom, the organisms in this kingdom, they are unicellular and they are prokaryotes. Prokaryotes means what? They do not have well-defined nucleus and the membrane-bound organelles like mitochondria or endoplasmic reticulum, etc. Okay. So they are unicellular, they are prokaryotes. Now, whether do they make their food or not? Yes. Some of them, they are autotrophic and some of them, they are depend on the others for the food. So, some of them from these organisms, from this group, they have the cell wall as well. For example, bacteria, and some they do not have the cell wall like the mycoplasma. So these 2 are the examples from this kingdom Monera organisms. So what are the basic characteristics? What to remember? They are unicellular, they are prokaryotic, either they are autotrophic or heterotrophic, and third one is they may have cell wall or they do not have the cell wall. Okay, so these are the characteristics. Now second kingdom is the kingdom Protista. Now here again, these organisms, they are unicellular. Okay, but here first it was prokaryote, but in the second kingdom, fine, they are the eukaryotes, means they are having well defined nucleus with a proper nuclear membrane and the cell bound organelles inside them, right, inside the cell. Now one more structure or one more characteristics they have, that they have appendages. Now when I give you the example, at that time you will understand what is the meaning of appendages. For example, we know paramecium. Paramecium is having hair-like structures, okay, around the body. Or when we say euglena, fine, it is having a flagella. Fine. Now all these structures are the extra body structures, fine, which are present there, fine, outside. Now these appendages help them for the movement. Okay. So kingdom Protista organisms, they are unicellular, they are eukaryotes, they have appendages like cilia, flagella or pseudopodia. Amoeba, it does not have a fixed shape. Okay. When he has to move, when he has to capture the food, at that time it uses its false feet, or we call it as a pseudopodia. So it is also the appendage. Now they are either autotrophic or heterotrophic. Okay. And what are the examples? Amoeba, paramecium, euglena are the examples of this kingdom Protista. Fine. Third, now it is the kingdom fungi. Now in kingdom fungi, they are eukaryotic. They are either unicellular like yeast or multicellular, and their mode of nutrition is heterotrophic. Okay. Now there is no autotrophic in the fungi. They are eukaryotic, they are heterotrophic, and either they are unicellular or multicellular. When we say the fungi, okay, two examples they come in front of us. One is the mushroom and second one is the yeast. Okay. So yeast, it is the unicellular fungi. Now they are having the different modes of nutrition. Fine. Some of them, fine, they are depend on the host, so they are having the parasitic mode. Some of them, they like mushroom, they live on dead and decaying matter, so they are having the saprophytic mode of nutrition. And some of them, they live, okay, with the another friend, or we call it as a relationship. There is a relationship which is called as the symbiotic, okay, which is found in the lichens, algae and fungi. Okay, collectively they are called as the lichen. Here, algae prepares the food, fine, whereas fungi, it absorbs the nutrients, fine. So both they get benefited due to this. So it is the symbiosis relationship, fine, in the lichens. So these are the characteristics of the organisms which are found in the fungi. Now next is the planting. We know that plants, they all are the autotrophic, they are multicellular. Fine, they are having the cell wall. They grow, fine, in size. They do not have fixed time or fixed years to grow, fine, they just grow. And they are autotrophic. So this is about the kingdom planting. And now last one, it is the kingdom Animalia. Okay, multicellular eukaryotes, and do they make their food? No. Animalia, the animals, they cannot make their food, so they are dependent on others, fine. So their mode of nutrition is the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. So Whitaker, he has classified all these organisms into these 5 kingdoms based on that 3 criteria. First one is the kingdom Monera, kingdom Protista, kingdom Fungi, kingdom Plantae, and last one is the kingdom Animalia.